Top 10% pay almost the entire tax bill, 80% of the taxes. Bottom 50% pay next to zero. That's redistribution. It's that simple. Really it's not that complicated. The thing is they now want a wealth tax, a confiscation of wealth. You know, they want a second, a third, a fourth bite at the apple. You risk your money, you invest it, then you're going to get hit with a capital gains tax. That's money you already paid taxes on. You make money, you're successful, you know, and I guess you get to write it off if you lose. But all of this, taken into context, is we have redistribution, but it's not even that. They want it all. And that's why you see this accelerated mass migration out of high tax states and states with burdensome regulation into these, you know, states like Florida.
So, you know, that's provocative. That's the dramatic set of statements from Sean Hannity. Jessica, I don't know anything about the economy. I'm one of his regular viewers, so I just trust everything he says. So are we being too hard on the rich with all these taxes? What do you think? Are the poors getting away with economic murder?
Yeah, I think we learned a lot when ProPublica decided pretty boldly to publish that leaked IRS information that showed billionaires like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos were paying sometimes less than 1%, and at best about 3%. Think about the tax rate that a lot of everyday working people and middle class Americans pay. Should billionaires be paying a lower tax rate than you? Let's also talk about how much wealth they've hoarded. They own about a third of the wealth, the top 1% in the United States today. That is insane. They have more wealth than the middle 60% of the country, the top 1%. So when you think about the wealth division in their country, even if they are paying 80% of the taxes, they should be paying far more considering how much wealth the top 10% has. How much of that wealth was accumulated by charging the average American consumer far more than the value of the good is worth, charging higher prices because they can, because they have an oligopoly or they're price gouging during a pandemic. And think about how wages have been stagnant since the 1970s. In 1965, the average CEO pay was about 20 times the average worker at that company. Today, it's 398.8 times the average worker at that company. So what Sean Hannity is talking about there is such an incomplete picture of what's going on economically in the country.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, you know, they say like, you know, how easy it is to lie with statistics. So he's doing that, but he's also just lying. Like the distribution, the tax burden as a percentage on the rich, which is not nearly as interesting or relevant as he thinks it is half what he says it is. So let's be just very clear. He's just lying. But then also, it is simultaneously possible, and I understand that this is difficult to understand, that they pay a large percentage of the total amount that is brought in and far less than they should for the huge amount of money that they make. And that very poor people who pay a relatively small, not a 0% of the total thing, still pay a very large percentage of the limited money they make. Everybody watching this, if you make $20,000, you still have to pay taxes on everything you buy. It's still a very significant thing. You don't have the buffer of millions of dollars that you risk capital gains on. It's so condescending. And again, it's a reminder that this is a guy pushing, you know, the populist message on Fox News, but his show is about how we're being too mean to the rich and how the poors are getting away with something. It's amazing that the trick that they're playing on their audience. Anyway, I wish we had a lot. Sorry, continue.
No, we're just echoing that. It's absolutely absurd. Yeah. And most people think that they're just temporarily inconvenienced rich people. And when we talk about rich people, it's people maybe earning, you know, 6 figures and up, and not people with billions and billions of dollars.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.